Team McGregor versus Team Chandler. The highly anticipated return of The Ultimate Fighter is here. Season 31 brings together a mix of seasoned veterans who have graced the octagon and aspiring hopefuls eager to step on the UFC canvas for the first time. Two MMA icons guide them through the challenges, hardships, and rigorous training. The perennial action fighter and lightweight contender, Michael Chandler, and the former two-division world champion, the notorious Conor McGregor. Prepare for an exhilarating clash. The Ultimate Fighter, Team McGregor versus Team Chandler has begun. Dressed in a stylish purple suit, McGregor arrives at the UFC Apex, where Michael Chandler awaits him. The opposing coaches and future opponents exchange handshakes and engage in their first interactions. Mental warfare begins immediately as the two men banter while the cast members enter the arena. Among the group, there are both familiar faces and newcomers. UFC President Dana White sets the stage for the season. This season, the athletes are divided into groups based on their divisions. Prospects and veterans in each weight class form separate groups. The four groups will be drafted into teams. For instance, if Chandler chooses the Bantamweight veterans, he'll coach all the Bantamweight veterans, while McGregor will coach the Bantamweight newcomers. The same divisional split occurs with the lightweights. McGregor selects the lightweight prospects with the first pick, expressing his confidence in their abilities. Chandler chooses the lightweight veterans and discusses the opportunity to help rebuild their careers, turning this season into a captivating veterans versus prospects competition. Now that the teams are set, the next step is an evaluation session for each team with their coaching staff. The coaches will rank each fighter in their group from 1 to 4, and the matchups will be determined in a true tournament format. The fighters ranked number 1 will face those ranked number 4, while number 2 takes on number 3 on each side of the bracket. This process continues until only one fighter remains standing in each weight class. Inside Tough House, everyone settles into the house, exploring its vast space and numerous amenities. Veteran fighter Kurt Holloway expresses his confidence, having researched the rookies and believing he can defeat any of them inside the cage. Meanwhile, members of Team McGregor share their excitement about the positive influence being around the former two-division champion will have on their performance in this unique environment. Team Chandler arrives at the UFC Apex for their initial training session. Chandler and his assistant coaches, including former TUF winner Ryan Bader, BJJ black belt Robert Drysdale, and striking coach Jason Strout, evaluate the athletes for their tournament matchups. Chandler explains that their rankings may not reflect their actual standing in the division, emphasizing that their number 1 pick might not be the best in the weight class. Bantamweight and TUF 27 featherweight winner Brad Katona mentions his training at SBG Island with McGregor, but asserts his loyalty lies with himself, not the opposing coach, who also happens to be a teammate. Next up is Team McGregor, with the Irishman leading his team through intense sparring sessions and setting an example for them to follow. McGregor introduces his coaching staff for the season, which includes his longtime head coach John Kavanagh, striking coach Owen Roddy, and boxing coach Phil Sutcliffe. The tension rises as the two coaches face off, and the tournament matchups are announced rapidly. Once the dust settles, the pairings across the two brackets are revealed, with McGregor's team on the left and Chandler's team on the right. The stage is set for an epic battle on The Ultimate Fighter. Nate Jennerman versus Roosevelt Roberts, Trevor Wells versus Timur Valiev, Aaron McKenzie versus Austin Hubbard, Mando Gutierrez versus Cody Gibson, Carlos Vera versus Brad Katona, Lee Hammond versus Kurt Holloway, Landon Quinones versus Jason Knight, Rico DeCiulo versus Hunter Azure. Jennerman and Roberts are to start things off. The UFC Apex is excited as each fighter arrives, settling into their respective dressing rooms. They go through the rituals of getting taped up, shaking out their nerves, and mentally preparing for the battle. Conor McGregor arrives in style, driving his Lamborghini, dressed to the nines. He takes the time to coach Jennerman through his warm-up before they enter the arena for the opening bout of the season. Nate Jennerman versus Roosevelt Roberts. The fight is over in a flash. Roberts lands a mighty right hand early on, staggering Jennerman. Pressing the advantage, Roberts connects with another right hand that drops Jennerman to the canvas. A swift follow-up barrage prompts referee Mark Smith to stop the fight. Chandler analyzes the fight, expressing satisfaction that their plan played out just as they'd envisioned. Dana White recognizes the significance of the victory, acknowledging that the veterans understand this is their last chance to earn a spot in the UFC. He praises Roberts for his impressive performance. Without missing a beat, the next fight is already underway. Valiev and Wells arrive at the UFC Apex, heading to their locker rooms to prepare for the bout. In an interstitial moment, Valiev mentions that he and Wells are roommates. Nevada State Athletic Commission Executive Director Jeff Mullen visits the Team Chandler locker room and asks to speak with Michael Chandler. They step into the hallway, where Mullen informs Chandler that Wells cannot compete due to medical reasons. Chandler confers with assistant coach and former TUF winner Ryan Bader, wondering about the specifics of the medical issue and whether this means Wells is out of the competition. It appears that Valliere will move forward by walkover. In the Team McGregor locker room, assistant coach Owen Roddy talks with Wells, assuring him he'll still get an opportunity. Wells explains that he successfully made weight and followed all the necessary protocols. However, during his medical check-in on the day of the fight, the doctor noticed a contagious cold sore on his face, rendering him ineligible to compete. Gibson and Gutierrez arrive at the UFC Apex, preparing in their respective locker rooms. The contrasting perspectives between the seasoned veteran and the up-and-coming newcomer add an intriguing element to their mindset. Both bantamweights are focused and ready for action. Mando Gutierrez versus Cody Gibson. This is a clash between McGregor's top-ranked bantamweight and Chandler's fourth-ranked contender. Gibson has a 4-inch height advantage and is 10 years older than Gutierrez. Gibson displays excellent defense early on, effectively countering Gutierrez's attempts to close the distance and control the clinch. He turns the fight into a striking battle and lands the cleaner shots. Both fighters absorb significant damage, resulting in cuts and bloodshed. 3 minutes into the first round, Gibson delivers a devastating jumping knee that sets in motion the end for the Team McGregor fighter. It's a fantastic finish for Gibson, who advances to the semi-finals. Get ready for the wild ride ahead. The following fights are sure to take the madness to another level. Brace yourself for even crazier action, intense matchups, and jaw-dropping moments. You don't want to miss it. Stay tuned and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.